Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a heartbreaking story that shocked a community and raised questions about love, jealousy, and the darker sides of human nature. This is the tragic tale of Emily Longley. Emily Longley was born on January 28, 1994, in Southampton, England. Growing up, she was known for her warm smile and infectious laughter. Emily was the eldest of 4 siblings, cherished by her parents and admired by her friends. Her father, a successful businessman, and her mother, a devoted homemaker, provided a loving environment where Emily thrived. Emily excelled in school and was particularly passionate about performing arts, often participating in school plays. Friends remember her as vibrant and kind-hearted, always willing to lend a helping hand or a listening ear. In 2009, Emily's family moved to the Isle of Wight, a picturesque location known for its stunning coastlines. It was here that Emily would begin to make new friends and develop a deeper interest in modeling, inspired by her natural beauty and charisma. Emily was 9 when her family emigrated to New Zealand before returning age 16 to the UK to live with her grandparents near Bournemouth while taking business studies at college. As she settled into her new life, Emily started dating. Among those she met was a young man named Dale Cregan. Their relationship at first seemed like a typical teenage romance, but it would soon take a dark turn. She met Elliot Turner on a night out, and it wasn't long before she introduced her new boyfriend to her grandparents, who thought he was charming and polite. To his friends, Turner was known as All Talk Turner, as he would boast about his lavish lifestyle, all of which was funded entirely by his parents. He liked to carry wads of cash to show off and even seemed proud to say that his parents could afford $30,000 to pay for him to attend the Priory Clinic for cocaine addiction. In January 2008, when he was 16 years old, he was involved with the police when an ex-girlfriend reported him for harassment. Turner had been bombarding her with texts and emails following their breakup. It didn't take long for Turner to start subjecting Emily to the same controlling behavior, and the torment began. Turner told her friends that she was using drugs, because he knew they wouldn't approve of it. He texted all the men in her phone book pretending to be Emily, and also hacked into her Facebook account to track what she was doing. Friends noted that Dale was possessive and jealous, traits that caused concern among those who cared about Emily. Despite the red flags, Emily remained committed to Dale, believing she could help him change. This desire to support him would soon lead her down a tragic path. In March 2011, Emily took part in a photo shoot involving topless men, which sent Turner into a rage, and he called her a whore. On a trip to the Isle of Wight for a romantic weekend away, they had a row which ended with Turner smashing up their hotel room. In April 2011, Emily visited her family in New Zealand but didn't tell them anything about Turner's darker side, hiding the true reality of their relationship from her family. Back in the UK, Turner had a rage building inside. Photos of Emily out enjoying her time with friends had him convinced she was cheating on him. When Emily got back to the UK, she went to a nightclub to meet up with Turner, but CCTV showed him waving his hand in the air to dismiss her. More shockingly, it is reported that later that night he slammed her head into a table. Emily's friends took action and removed her from the nightclub, but Turner had other plans and, believing that she was going on to another venue to meet men, he followed her, armed with a hammer. It was on the 7th of May 2011 that Turner confronted Emily and started an argument with her, to which she responded by throwing a drink in his face and leaving. Turner was enraged, and even went so far as to text his mum, "I could break Emily's neck and beat her." His mom replied, "Don't do anything that is inappropriate, Elliot. You're so young and have so much life ahead of you." Elliot didn't listen. Instead, he followed Emily and persuaded her to accept a lift home. Instead, he took her to his home. They arrived at 12:45 a.m. By 1 a.m. Emily was dead. The next morning at 9:16 a.m., Elliot's mother, Anita, texted his father, Lee, and said, "Come home, Emily's dead." It was more than 40 minutes later that someone finally called emergency services. When questioned, Turner said Emily had attacked him, and he grabbed her neck in self-defense for 5 or 6 seconds to calm her down, and she had actually died in her sleep, in his bed. Detectives quickly identified Dale as a person of interest. With his history of jealousy and violence, they began to piece together the events leading up to that tragic night. The investigation revealed that Dale had a history of aggressive behavior. In the days following the murder, he went into hiding, further raising suspicions. Police launched a manhunt, fearing he might flee. As detectives gathered evidence, they discovered that Dale had sent threatening messages to Emily before her death. This pattern of intimidation painted a clear picture of a controlling boyfriend unwilling to accept rejection. He was immediately arrested at the scene, and it was found he had his passport in his pocket with a bag packed nearby. After questioning, he was bailed and went back to his lavish lifestyle. He was handed a new credit card by his parents and immediately began partying. Police wanted to build a case against Turner, knowing his story of self-defense didn't add up. In an unusual step, the police bugged the Turners' home. It was through this strategy they found out that not only was Turner completely guilty of Emily's murder, but that his parents played a role in helping to cover his tracks. During the nearly 300 hours of recordings, Turner was caught saying that on the night of the murder, he had grabbed Emily in a sleeper hold until she was dead. After a tense few days, Dale Cregan was apprehended and charged with Emily's murder. The trial that followed was harrowing. The prosecution laid out a compelling case, detailing the events leading up to Emily's death, including the psychological manipulation and threats she had endured. At his subsequent trial, Turner was asked why he showed no remorse for the killing, to which he replied, "Well, it was a year ago." Had endured. In 2012, the jury reached a verdict. He was sentenced in May 2012 and given a life sentence with a minimum term of 16 years. His parents were both found guilty of assisting him and received 27 months each for perverting the course of justice. The courtroom erupted in tears as Emily's family finally felt a sense of justice, although the pain of their loss would never fully fade. Emily's story is another tragic case of an abusive relationship and violence carried out by a man against a woman. Her story is not unusual or even uncommon, quite the opposite. Violence against women is at epidemic levels, with governments seemingly unwilling or unable to do anything about it. In 2021, statistics showed that more than half of women who were murdered were killed by an intimate partner or other relative. A woman's own home remains the most dangerous place, with 68% of femicides taking place in the woman's own home, her place of safety, by a person supposed to love her. Emily's story resonated with many, shining a light on the realities of domestic violence and the importance of recognizing unhealthy relationships. Her family has since become advocates for raising awareness about these issues, determined to ensure that Emily's memory lives on. In the wake of this tragedy, local initiatives have sprung up to support victims of domestic abuse, encouraging young people to speak out and seek help. Emily Longley was more than just a victim. She was a beloved daughter, sister, and friend whose life was cut short by violence. While her story is one of sorrow, it also serves as a reminder of the importance of love, respect, and the need to stand against abuse in all forms. Thank you for watching. If you found this story meaningful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more true crime stories. Remember, it's essential to be aware of the signs of unhealthy relationships. Let's honor Emily by promoting awareness and change.